I will hit intro.
All right, go ahead and mute it.
Welcome to Sith Talk, brought to you by Dat and Lany, bringing you news from Star Wars The Old Republic and beyond. Join us now as we explore the universe and take down the Republic in a galaxy not so far away.
All right, hey everybody, and welcome to this week's Sith Talk Live. Hey there, dog.
What's up, dog?
So this week, if you're watching on YouTube, I hope you guys are appreciating it. Lanyard puts a lot of work into that video, and it looks fucking awesome this week, so I'm really happy with that. And my computer's twitching out a little bit, but it's all good. So this week, we've got a little bit of good news, some plus sides as far as our search for a co-host for me, and a lot of game news this week, definitely. I want to thank everyone for their support over the last year, as well as their support in the future. Definitely look forward to quite a bit more time, as long as we can get that new co-host in there. And always happy to see so many people joining us in channel to enjoy the show. What do you do? What do you have playing on the bottom? That is me playing on my Cathar before.
That's on the live version. On the YouTube version, I've got Suiza just running around doing some crap. It's actually from one of my streams, so the video's kind of blurry, but that's what you're watching on the YouTube.
And I want to, like I said, I thank everybody for the support. As this podcast and our other podcasts are brought to us by viewers like yourselves. So anytime you chip in is always welcomed. I did have a little bit of a scrubby issue happen with the guys over at Podomatic, but we'll discuss that in a little bit. But this week we're covering some news from around the universe as far as SWTOR goes. If you guys want to check out any of our links in the future, please feel free to check out SWTOR Strategies and Darth Hater's websites. I find them to be an invaluable source of information. Mm-hmm. We also have an episode of the Galactic Librarian this week. The wife is with us for about 10 minutes, so more than an adequate break for running to the can in the event we need. Lanyard, I know you had live streamed quite a bit of SWTOR, so let us know, man. Let us know what you did, what happened, what's going on. How was your week?
Well, I did play a little SWTOR. I ran on Suiza, as people may or may not know. I already got Zuzu to 55. My goal is to get my main characters up to 55, and then on occasion, if I can, get into an ops or something, especially on Friday nights, because I stream on Friday nights, SWTOR. And so I jumped on Suiza, and she was level 50 to start. And then I think I might have got her to 52, I can't quite remember, but I know I hit 51 because I'm looking at it right now. That's 51. And so I did a couple of dungeons and ran a couple of did a bunch of PvP because I love PvP with her. She's the trooper commando, and she just tears shit up. I went to Ilum. And what did I do on Ilum? I think I was going to do the dailies on Ilum. I did do the dailies on Ilum, as a matter of fact, because they were listed on my things to do, and so I said, fuck it, I'll go do those. And did the dailies on Ilum, which is really weird because doing it from the Republic side, I don't know where to go. I'm running because I'm so used to doing it on the Empire side. It's just kind of like I can do it on autopilot, but with the Republic, I'm like, where do I run? So that was kind of fun. And then, like I said, I went and did some dailies, and then I went and did. I don't remember which instance I did. I want to say it was False Emperor, but it's coming up. I don't remember which one it was. But I did one of those, and that was fun. And I got up, like I said, I got up to 51, I think maybe 52. Just tinked around really a lot. Was on there for a few hours, but when I'm streaming and I get people chatting with me, I end up talking back to them a lot. So I end up pausing and just kind of standing there for a while and not really getting anything done. But that's why I enjoy the stream. It's just you know, it's not to accomplish anything. It's more or less just to, you know, have fun with people and talk about the game, talk about other games, that type of thing. So that's what I did. Once I get her to 55, I will finally work on Lanyard again and get him to 55, and then I got a couple low levels to work on, 3 low levels actually. So my Sage, my Operative, and my Smuggler. So other than that, that's it. That's all I did this week for SWTOR. What about you?
Really? All right. Well, you know, I finally broke down and had a little extra cash, and went and paid for the race changes.
Oh, nice.
I'm not super happy with it, even looking back at it, just because I kind of maybe picked the wrong character to do it. Maybe should have went with one of my low-end characters, and it feels really weird logging back into Nagajalokia as a Cathar.
Told you. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. Well, it's not that I'm disappointed. Listen, you play a character for over a year, and you're used to seeing the burnt-out red face that she has,
Yep.
and then you come back in one day, and she's a white pussy.
Yep.
And I'm completely just mind-blown.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's a bad look. It's just it's so different.
It's not Naga no more.
Yeah, Nagajalokia may end up going back to Sith as soon as I can afford another $8 on my account, just because I can't. Yeah.
That's why I changed somebody that
Now,
I haven't played before.
Yeah, I do have the ability to race change a character that's a little lower level that I haven't invested as much time or effort into. So I probably will race change her back and then flip the race of that one, or just create a new version of the lower end one, because it doesn't take any time whatsoever to level up. Yeah. And I know almost all the planets by memory now, so it's okay. But I do have to admit it was kind of an interesting, situation. I didn't buy too much extra. I did try to buy a couple of those goofy little new crates and didn't get shit.
Yep.
But I did have a good time. I'm only level 54 on her, and we got to run some of the old heroic runs that were level 50 heroics. And it was just hilarious running through them so fast.
Yeah.
Even the guys that were in the group with me were joking about how, I remember when this was actually hard.
Yeah.
And of course now we're 5 levels above it. I'm surprised they didn't adjust it and just, remove the heroic label to it and stop calling them level 50 heroics and just, make them level 55 normals. Because there's no reason to have a 50 heroic if you're 5 levels above it. It still makes it an easy run. But there were some tricky points into it, but nothing that was real gut-wrenching. Yeah. And even healing on her, the only problem I really had was remembering what spells were which, because I hadn't played in a little while. And just like switching from one character to the next, trying to remember what spells are what. Yeah. Let's see. What's frequency says? Nerf the tomb plus a buff with mobs, easy fix. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I remember
that would be easy enough.
I remember which one I was in the Esselis, and it was level 55 level 55 heroic for Esselis. That's what we did. Because I remember going in there, I was like, why are we in here? And I double checked everybody was 55. So that's what I did. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's cool. Well, I did the same thing with Rakat. When he hit 55, I was like, okay, ready to go. The sad thing is that when I went in at 55, I was able to go almost directly into heroics based on my gear level, and really didn't see a loss in damage. We were still burning shit down. Even the stuff they'd made heroic wasn't all that hard. So I really wish they would have done a little bit more to really kill it. I think they may have misstepped a wee bit with the level 50 to 55 stuffs. I did go back to the planets. I was doing some of the dailies, and you know what? Reminded me why I hate playing her by herself. Because being a healer, doing dailies blows balls. Yeah. And I can't afford to buy her the ability to flip specs whenever she wants to. So I'm kind of fucked. I mean, I'd like to say I'm not, but it's just the way it is. And then, of course, I get in there, and the servers are jammed because of all of the people coming in to check out the Cathar. There was a good pile of people to the point that I almost couldn't. The people that were around me didn't load in until long after I'd done my customization on Naga. It was kind of ridiculous. Not quite to the extent that it was when Rakat was there, because when Rakat was there, I had trouble targeting the control panel to even do the race change.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was that on that day it was horrible, but I didn't have the money for it, so went back when I had the cash and was like, well, I'm not changing Rakat. He's in a long relationship with Nalani. He can't go changing races now. She just wouldn't understand rolling over and seeing a furrier man than normal.
That might cause problems at home.
But Naga and her husband never talk, so it's okay. And they're really not the same age. He doesn't quite understand their relationship, and neither does she. But they're still married because they have a kid now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
you know.
I got
you
echo.
lose your train.
I got echo. I can hear me talking though.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm not sure why that's that way, but it's kind of disturbing. Hope it's not coming through.
No, I don't think it is. I don't hear it. Yeah, for the kids, exactly, frequency. But it's really interesting to see if there are any changes. I am noticing what people swear about World of Warcraft, about there being a lot more dicks in game. There are more people who are more elitist now in SWTOR than there was previously, or at least in previous, times playing. Myself, I actually enjoy the fact that no one has released a true in-game DPS meter. I've got several add-ons in my World of Warcraft account, and it's kind of nice just to see the base UI in SWTOR and how clean it is.
Yeah, there's no add-ons per se, but you still got that. You still have the DPS meter that you can use.
But it only gauges yourself unless you connect it to everybody else.
Right. If you're in the raid group, it'll tell you. And it's not in-game, it's a separate program running.
It's an overlay.
Yeah, and I forgot, until you said that, I completely forgot that we even had that. That was back when we were raiding.
Yeah.
Now it's like...
Well, and the funny thing is that even that didn't last too long as far as the rating went, because you didn't need it. You don't need it. There are situations where you can tell the raid's just not getting something done right. But I don't have to use, in World of Warcraft, I feel compelled to use healing mods, even though I know how to heal.
Yeah.
And I really want to get into a raid to see if it's as easy mode as I've been dealing with in our other MMO that I've been playing as of late, because I went in there and, you're always joking about how you just run in, kill a boss, and then you're done.
That's how they want it.
That's pretty much the way it is in WoW now.
That's how they want it.
And
I'm gonna make an MMO where the instances and raids are gonna be, you're gonna go through the little swirly thing, or you're gonna teleport in, because God forbid you have to actually walk to the raid. So you teleport in, and as soon as you teleport in, and all the raid groups there's just a chest there, and you just fucking open the chest, take your shit, and get out. Because that's exactly what people want. They don't want to have to kill mobs. They don't want to have to run anywhere. They don't want to have to fucking take the boss down. They don't want to have to... They just want to get in and get their fucking shit and get out. There you go. That's your shit. That's what I'm going to make, and then everybody will be like, this is the boringest game ever. It's what you wanted.
I want to make an MMO and call it The Hallway.
That's just a long, straight row.
Infinite hallway. Exactly.
I played a game like that at a bar. I played a game like that at a bar. It's just a long ass hallway, and you got this chick, and she's really, really drunk, and she walks, and you gotta hit right or left to keep her stable, and she just walks, and she's got a drink in her hand and shit, and she's walking, and the longer you go, the more twisted she is, so it's harder to. And you got this little thing that goes back and forth like this, a little beam. And you got to keep that beam in the center, right? But but the drunker you are, the more laggy it is. So you're hitting, and then it comes back, and then oh shit. So you got to keep this girl in balance. Well, the longer she walks, the more clothes that she removes as she walks down the hallway, And of course, the goal is to get her naked and get her as long, get the long a walk as you can. I used to play that at a bar all the time. It was fucking great. One of those little machines that sit up on the bar. Of course, you young kids don't know what I'm talking about, but it was fun.
Yeah, and as Carnard is pointing out, there's the scenarios in WoW, which I honestly, if they were a little bit larger, I wouldn't mind those being thrown into something like SWTOR. I don't like the fact that it's a central area that you just run around in. Yeah. I would prefer it be more expansive.
Like what Rift, you go in. Rift has the adventures, and me and Con did a couple of the instant adventures, and it's the whole map. But you're running around the whole map, and what's really cool is your group gets together on the map, and you do, and it sets up quests for you to do, and you do all these quests, and you go along and you do these quests, and you run all over the map. But the thing is that you're not in an instance. So in other words, you get popped into a map, and other people will be in that area, and they'll join your group or whatever. So that's kind of full, but it's the full map. And then when you've gone through all those 7 or whatever, it says your next adventure's ready, and you just can keep going and going and going and going, and you get a lot more XP that way. I don't know if SWTOR could come up with something like that, because I don't know, maybe they could. It would probably work all right.
They could. I could see them making terrestrial heroic zones, like to that extent, that people could come in and just join it with random, because they have the heroic areas as it is. So I would like to see something of that nature.
Oh, there you go. They could do that.
Randomized raids.
Well, yeah, or like these adventures, or whatever the WoW calls it. You could do an instant adventure in SWTOR by you get your group gets together and you go to each heroic area, and then just do the heroic. Once you've got the heroic mission done, it has a big boss comes up, and you have to kill that big boss. Then it says, okay, you've finished it. You get your rewards, and you move on to the next heroic area on the other planet or on the same planet. And then if they do it right, you do the mentoring where top levels go down, and it averages out everybody's level, and you just go and do it like that. They could do that. That would be fun.
And that'd be a cheaper way to go about it. Just nerf the stats overall, and you can do any heroic zone you want it to, and just do random heroic zone.
Right. You either take the top levels down and the lower levels up to a certain extent, and then you just go out there, kind of like what they do for PvP. You just average everybody out to the same level. I could see them doing that.
And one of the things that is interesting and would be great to see in a game like SWTOR is their customizations options that I do actually like. The one change I do like from the new WoW is the fact that you can basically map any customization onto your top tier gear. Just basically transfers the stats to the new item. Yeah, transmog.
Well, we kind of have that.
That would be awesome.
SWTOR kind of has that with the ability to move the mods around.
If you get specific customized gear.
Yeah. Oh, you mean stuff that's not customized that you like. Right. That you could then make it customized. Because there
are a lot of there are a lot of gear options that have the ability to, a lot of really nice gear that may not be top tier. It may not be customizable, but it has a nice design.
Nice look to it.
And with the transmog system, you can flip it over like that. Yeah. And that would encourage people to run lower end stuff just so that they can get these cool designs. Right. Not that the design options are all that awesome in that particular game.
They're not
whatever.
They're not too varied. Usually it's just a different paint scheme, or it's missing a table leg or something.
Right. But we do have quite a bit of news. I would like to let's see. You think it's too early for Sudo? Or you want to go to Sudo and then go to the news? It's up to you.
Hey, you're the leader of the show, bro. Tell me where to go.
Leader of the crack. Let's go with Sudo. That way we can shoot the shit with the guys in chat.
Okay, go ahead.
In chat, and then take care of business. So in 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, this is Sudo, your Galactic Librarian, picking back up with Paragon Chapter 1, Part 3. They all did, even as they built their stone shelter for Omen in the months after the crash. The crew had steadily brought out equipment. Some of it they expected to restore to life with a few fabricated parts. The rest was immediately usable and used. That had been a mistake. It turned out there wasn't any metal to be found on cache The Sith had ripped and clawed at the surface, expending most of their surviving munitions to no avail. Above, Kesh was pleasing to the eye, but below, it appeared to be little more than a dirt ball. Much equipment running on internal power sputtered and died. Worse, something in Kesh's electromagnetic field was playing hob with everything from radio waves to electrical generation. The lightsaber still worked. Thank the Lycan crystals for that. But the castaways, intrepid as they were at cannibalizing, weren't going to be able to reinvent everything. The tools simply weren't here. I get that, Gloyd said, seeming not so tall as before. You know me. I'm built for battle. This peaceful paradise is getting to me. I know something you can do battle with, Sela said, her caftan shimmering as she stepped up and put her arm around Corson. I think I saw them preparing lunch back in the main hall. Corson smiled. Gloyd glared at the couple for a moment before letting loose with a churning laugh. What can I say, he said, patting his paunch and turning. The lady knows me. Corson looked past the retreating hulk to see another figure. Ravelin? What's your next grand plan to get us off this rock? Nothing along those lines, Ravelin said. The Crimson Man of Tilden's description stepped forward and regarded his leader civilly. Not today. Really? Well, we're all getting older. The mind forgets. Not this one, Commander. Ravelin ran his finger along his right cheek tendril, an expression of thoughtfulness among the red Sith. It made Sela's skin crawl. She gripped Corson tighter. One-time quartermaster for Orman's complement of Maasai warriors, Ravelin had been left without a mission after his charges died during their first days on Kesh. Since then, he'd held a sequence of odd jobs. More importantly, he'd become the spokesbeing for the 57, the surviving crew members who bloodlines to the red-skinned Sith species ran truest, and for those who, like Gloyd, were less interested in living on Kesh than leaving it. But Ravelin's lot had grown increasingly bleak. His people hadn't numbered 57 since their arrival. A dozen had fallen due to accident or professional incompetence, and none of the children of Ravelin's people had lived a day. Kesh had not been kind in equal measure to all its guests. As motives for wanting to leave went, his were fairly strong. But he did not bring him before Corson today, apparently. There's something else, Ravelin said, eyeing Sela. People in the service of your wife have been trying to document the ancestries of all our crew. They have grown quite insistent, he added, cocking an eyebrow stalk. Feeling Sela's grip tighten further, Corson rose. Your people don't have to worry about that, Rev. Human crew only. Yes, but many of us have at least some human blood, Ravelin said, walking along the colonnade with Corson. The crowd parted. Sela walked gingerly behind. And many of your people have some of ours. The merger of the Dark Jedi line with that of my Sith forebears is an article of pride to our people, Corson. To have someone picking it apart. Corson continued walking, enjoying the view of the ocean. Strands of silver in his hair glistened in the sun. Sela stepped up her pace to get closer. It's still a foreign planet, Corson said. We don't know what killed your Maasai when we landed. We don't know what's been happening to, well, you know. I certainly do, Ravlin said, looking out at the ocean without seeming to see it. His coloring had faded to a somber maroon hue in his time on Kesh, and his earrings and other Sithly ornamentation only served to make the man beneath look more drab. This is a world driven by tragedy, Corson, for all of us. If you'd accept one of my people in the crochet as midwife, we might be better able to understand. No, Sela said, interposing herself between the two. They're not medical personnel, Corson. In conditions like these, we've got to have some controls. Ravlin shrank back. It was not a slight, Sela. Your staff have done quite well since our missions turned. Generational in nature. The Sith thrive. His face, wrinkled with age and worry, softened. It should be so for all of the Sith. Sela looked urgently at Corson, who waved his hand dismissively. Dismissing us both? She wondered. We'll talk about it later, Corson said. Was there something else? Ravlin paused. Yes, I will be in the south, as you requested, visiting the towns of the Ragnos Lakes. Sela knew the project. The Kashari had been harvesting some kind of fluorescent algae, and Corson had assigned Ravlin to check it out, for potential use in enlightening the Sith structures. There are 8 villages on various bodies of water, all with different specimens to examine. That's a lot of territory, Corson said. You alone? As you requested, Ravlin said. I start in Testibule, farthest away. Sela smiled. It was just the sort of mindless job that would drive the quartermaster to madness. Take your whole routine, Corson said, slapping a firm hand on Ravlin's shoulder. Corson had grown no more physically imposing during his exile, but he still walked like a man, Gloyd size. It's important, and it'll go faster if you split up, and you could all stand to get off this mountain for a few days. He brought Ravlin closer and spoke into his sunken ear. And look, next time Sela would like you to call me Grand Lord. That's just a name for the Kashari, and there aren't Kashari here. It's an order, Rav. Safe flight. Sela watched as Ravlin limped off. He'd lost an argument with a UVAC in their second year here. It was one of a series of losses, and she wasn't about to let him win an argument now. She took Corson aside. Don't you dare accept any of his people in my wards. You're pretty when you're territorial. Corson? He looked at her with piercing eyes. You're not living on Relg anymore. How long before you let go of the past? Sela let a smoldering look speak for her, but Corson ignored it. Spotting something behind her, he grinned and turned to address the waiting crowd. Sorry to cut this short, all of you, but I see my lunch companion has arrived. Sela turned. A Darival waited at the edge of the plaza. Alright everyone, that's it for this week. Continue in next time for the next part of Paragon.
Oh, I love my wife.
And she did a really good job. You know, she's
wife.
getting so much better at this. Pretty soon she's going to be able to do it, have an actual job doing this. That'd be great. I mean, she's got to work on her voice inflection a little bit, a little more pausing in between the sentences, know when the sentence ends and when a new one starts. But other than that, she's not stumbling as much. That's great.
The best part for me is when she was out there recording it. I always tell her come in the room so there's no distractions, nothing. She could just have her little. I'm going to get her a little frame stand so she can put her little book on her ebook on there, and then What the hell are you talking about, con artist? You're a black woman.
Never mind. Just keep going with the show. I'm fucking with
I don't know why you're role-playing Star Trek. You sick sacks of shit. I can't put her any higher, Captain.
I was gone one day.
I told her to come in here, and she was cussing at the cats because they almost turned her computer off in the middle of recording, and she had to start recording again because she lost her spot. It was really funny this afternoon. I wish she would have, if she just cut the shit and just do it in here, it'd be okay. But nonetheless, yeah. So I got a lot of news-ish stuff to talk about, some patch notes and some other shit. So let's jump into the newsreel, shit.
Are we gonna start on Darth?
Here's your galactic news. Look what you missed while you were sleeping.
All right, I have no clue what your question was, but it came at a really awkward moment.
Yeah.
You were trying to figure out where we were starting?
Yeah, I wanted to know if we were starting on Darth Vader or not.
No, we always start on the patch notes, the actual patch notes.
Oh, well, I've
Here
already
we go
closed that window, so...
God, you sack of shit. Okay, well, I'm going to do them anyway.
Do them anyway, because the big patch notes, they're huge.
Yeah, the ginormous patch notes that WoW has, or excuse me, that Blizzard the BioWare has.
There you go.
Okay, I'd have gotten it eventually. You know what
Yeah.
So patch 2.1a was real huge. They corrected an issue that prevented many players with Windows XP. Why are you still running XP?
Right.
From launching the game?
That's right.
My God, that's just... seriously, okay, people. If you want to game online, XP, probably not a good idea. If you need to play a game that only runs on XP, you might want to find a new game.
Wow.
Fuck. That's just...
If you're using a computer that still has XP, then you can't run SWTOR anyway. That's why people play WoW still.
They're the reason that SWTOR had to downgrade their system so that they can run on dual core processors.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't have a super ultra setting anymore, you pricks. Not that my computer's all that over the top either, but fuck you. All right, so and then of course 2.1.0b, the white color crystal can no longer be reverse engineered, and the value for the vendor value for crystals that are being tracked via the collections UI has been reduced. So collectibles are no longer worth as much to sell to the vendor. So no more selling your crap. All right. Additionally, we had some really cool stuff, some data mining, and since Lane's got a hard on for Darth Vader,
no,
I closed
the SWTOR one down because I didn't think we were doing patches anymore, and pulled up Twitch so I could give Con and everybody some crap during Sudo's thing, and I didn't open it back up again. And what the hell is that squealing?
I don't hear it.
It's like a freaking dentist drill going off in the background.
There's no dentist drill. Dude, I swear to God, you must be on crack today.
Talk.
You got a little itch.
It might be on my side. There's some type of feedback going on. I don't know what the hell it is. But it's driving me crazy.
I love you, Lenny. All right, let's see. It says in the patch 2.2 patch notes on the PTS, of course, so these can change at large. Operation Nightmare. It says in here the general characters in a guild will receive XP and reputation bonus based on the number of characters from unique accounts in the guild. So this is kind of fishy. This one's trying to condense some extra guilds, maybe get some more people active in guilds, or get some people out of inactive guilds and into proper guilds. I don't know anybody in an inactive guild.
I don't know either.
Unique characters. No, wonder about that. Deadbeats. Anyway, so for every 5 active unique accounts in the guild, the XP and reputation bonus will be 1%, up to, it says on the top of the base at 5%, the entire for the entire guild up to a maximum of 10%.
They're trying to keep you from having a guild full of alts. Oh, they've got 500 people in there. Yeah, that's because 10 of us have 50 fucking characters.
Well, it's not like all of them are on the same server. I mean, I've only got 12 alts, and most of them are in guilds on the opposite side of the server.
Yeah.
And jackasses.
Well, anyway.
In class and combat, it says all stun breaks, determination, escape, unbreakable will, resolute, etc. will have their cooldown reset after the character comes back from a defeated state. So any CC breakers will actually be reset if you die. That's going to be something they change, of course, for PvP reasonings. And a duel for the Sith Warrior and Jedi Knights. It says the Xian form now increases movement speed by 15%, in addition to its other effects. Another dual patch note here for the Jedi Consulars and the Sith Inquisitors. Breaching Shadows granted by Shadow Technique has a new visual effect that persists while 3 charges of the Breaching Shadows are effective, and static charge equally the same. And then, of course, in the Sith Inquisitor Darkness tree, it says Dark Ward has the visual effect that persists while active now. Bounty Hunters made more visual improvements to Flamethrower.
Sweet.
We needed improvements to Flamethrower. The thing already takes up half the fucking screen.
I wanted
the one change you like.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Crafting underworld gear can now be underwear gear can now be reverse engineered so that you can wear it.
You can wear it inside and out. You can wear it for 2 weeks now.
Yeah. Oh, those light sprayed britches. Let's see. In the economy, it says a new sub-tier of gear is now made available. It's the Kel Dragon gear set. Can be obtained through Nightmare Mode operations at level 55, which is really funny because it says a sub-tier, so it's not a new tier. It's an equivalent tier to the gear that's already available in other Nightmare Modes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that was a definite need. Got to have more sub-tiers. Let's see. Now, one thing that does make me happy, and this will be covered in a little bit more in depth, is some of the new vehicles. In another one of our pages, it says new vehicle, the Helix Hyperpod, will now drop in Nightmare Mode from Terror from Beyond.
Sweet.
I always love new mounts.
I love mount
and then, of course, a new vehicle. New vehicle, the Titan 6 containment vehicle, will be dropping in Nightmare Mode Scum and Villainy. So if you are in a hardcore guild and listen to this podcast, what the fuck are you listening to?
Right.
I mean, now you know there's another mount. Yeah.
And it's probably just a repaint of an original one. It's the Corvette with red with flames. There you go. That's new.
Yes, red with flames and big tail fins.
Yeah. And maybe.
It looks like the Corvette mapped to a '67 Chevy Bel Air.
Oh, that would be badass.
With the top chopped.
That would be cool.
The ultimate in recycling in 3,000 years in the future. Let's see, new vendors have been added to the Gav Dragoon and Zeist Shadow, where players can exchange unassembled Kel Dragon tokens for gear. So much like in the old days when we were running Kara and we were like, holy shit, dude, you got a token drop, quick, drop a portal.
Right.
You can now be taken back. You can run out of the instance real quick, put on your new piece of gear, and run back in. Yep. So that's always a quick fix for some of your shitty DPS or bad healers or tanks that keep getting crit. Let's see. Also, new rated PvP gear, new rated PvP weapons have been added to the PvP ranked gear vendor. These weapons cost 400 ranked comms and require a PvP rating of 2,400. Okay. This is where I have to ask, who the hell is actually doing ranked? They didn't set up a proper ranked system. The only reason to do ranked is in the event that you decided to go ahead and get a bunch of people together in your guild so that you can get a slight tier upgrade from the gear you were already using.
Yeah, they never did.
And it doesn't look any better.
They never did properly set up ranked war zones. It's you don't have a team. You make a team every single time, and that's stupid. You should have a team. Just like they do in WoW, like any other fucking ranked shit. You gotta have a team. You're with that team. You practice with that team. You go with that team. You go into the battles with the team. That guy sucks. You get rid of him. You replace him. That's how you do it. You don't go in with 3 random people, then come out, and then 3 random people, and come out. It doesn't make any sense. You can have a little flag.
Yeah, I don't quite get that at all. It's a bit befuddling to me.
Yeah.
I want, if they want to do ranked war zones the way I like them, you should have a team of 5 buddies and a smaller war zone. I don't need a huge battleground to work in. I hate to say it, but this is a spot where a lot of people that loved PvP and WoW came to the game and went, what the fuck is this shit? And then went back to WoW because of the PvP. Mm-hmm. I wasn't good at ranked PvP in World of Warcraft, so I don't have a affinity towards it, but I can see where Blizzard, granted, 8 years of advanced training, have a big heads up on that. And if they had smaller war zones or more intimate war zones, that a 5-on-5 or a 3-on-3 would be appropriate.
Yeah.
Almost all the classes are neutralized, so since everything's kept in line between the two, give me a proper war zone, battleground. Don't call it a war zone, because I don't need a whole zone. I need a battleground,
right.
A quick spot to do a quick pickup game. That's it. And then of course we don't have seasons. So if there's no point to getting in there, because each season we get a new piece of gear or there's a special unlock for top-rated groups, the drive is merely to go and wipe the floor with somebody at random with a group that you picked up, because why not?
Yep.
I would love the idea of
the
battle standards.
There's no BlizzCon to go to play the
right.
Supermax and shit like that. I could see where that could come into play, but unfortunately I don't see it happening with this game. That's all right. Ranked war zones.
If we're gonna get raped for every dollar we have, they can make about $5 to get a proper battle standard for the 5-man or 3-man group that go in to do these battlegrounds. I think that would be fun, and it would allow PvPers to get as much PvP as they wanted to.
Sure.
Make ranked battlegrounds something specific, and then you can get all out of it you want.
Yep.
All right, so going into Battlegrounds, come to speak of it, the last set of notes here is PvP. So, okay, in PvP, it says general. It says players that are backfilled into a war zone will be awarded a reinforcement medal that will count toward their total medal count for the match. This also means that backfilled players will no longer be put into a situation where they get backfilled into a match and don't have enough time to get one medal and thus miss out on the Warzone rewards by the end of the match. That is very good. I like that idea because I am sick and tired of
that makes sense.
You queue up for a Warzone, they're already lost, you're like, well, fuck, how do I get a medal? And you can't.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
In the Alderaan War, it says, turret. Objective points will no longer be interactable while changing ownership. So they're not going to cause damage while someone's trying to cap. So if you're on the Republic side and you're trying to get it, take it from the Sith or the Imperials, the gun will stop firing at your ship while you're trying to switch it. Right.
Okay.
Sounds a little bit odd, a little maybe buggy, but I like the idea of that. That way you're not taking damage and they're gaining. You're losing points while you're trying to take damage.
That also incentivizes you to click on it anyway, whether you're getting knocked off, back off. It stops it for a second. So I can see where that would. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah. Players will no longer be backfilled into Alderaan War when one team has twice as many points as the enemy team.
Yeah, because there's no really...
Well, that just makes sense.
Done.
There's no way you're coming back.
Yeah, it's over.
At that point, you have to have a 3 cap before you'll ever get there again. Over in the Ancient Hypergates, it says players will no longer be backfilled into the Ancient Hypergate after 4th explosion. Well, because after the 4th explosion, it's fucking over.
It's over, yeah.
Yeah, there's always a couple minutes left on the clock, but nonetheless... let's see, into Nova. Players will no longer be backfilled into the Nova, in the Novara Coast Warzone when one team has less than 25% of the remaining shields and the other team has 75% or greater remaining. Once again, the other team got slaughtered. We're not going to throw you in there just to keep getting killed.
Right.
Over in Hutball, everybody's favorite, it says players will no longer be backfilled into Hutball after 10 minutes have elapsed in the match. Once again, just safeguarding the idea that if they're losing, you're not going to go and continue the loss. Always a good thing. All right, and now I was going to talk about the Kel Dragon series, but once again, it's just an honorable mention. There's a completely new Kel Dragon series armaments or gearings for people if they want to get a subset of gear, so that maybe they can have something a little different. So no big deal there. Now there was the data mining over on SWTOR Strategies that was very interesting. They've noticed several new mounts. I'm a big fan of that, and those always make me happy, as well as pets, toys, whole bunch of interesting stuff. So I'm going to blaze through most of that just so we can give everybody an update. We will include the links at some point or another for you to be able to get to all of this information, or just take your butt over to SWTOR Strategies. They are awesome guys, and I love the owners and the writers over there. Definitely a great website. Soren and his team keep the information flowing on a nonstop basis, and I thank them for their updates. So it says here, the crest of the Dark Master. This golden crest appears to have once belonged to the Dreadmaster, but its form is ancient and unfamiliar. A strange and unsettling power emanates from the cold-etched metal. So in here they have new mounts. There's the Helix Hyperpod that we had talked about from Darth Hader's site. You know, it increases translation to rates by 110%. And then we also have the Titan 6 containment mount. There's the Solaris Secant. The Artec Blur, the Artec Lux, and the Artec Basic as far as new mounts. We've got new pets on the way out. That's the F5CS Fighter, which of course is going to be like most of the other fighter planes that look like you're controlling an RC vehicle. There's the Model B-28 Extinction Class Bomber, and the Strided Wiggler, which is more than likely going to be some weird looking bug. Under the toys, there's some ideas here with a reusable Jawagram that says awesome, as well as a Jawagram that says may the force be with you, party on, and a hollow chair. Not that I'm quite understanding the usage of that one. And then a saber remote. Some new indestructible crystals are looking to be on their way in. The mint green indestructible, eviscerating, Hawkeye, and War Heroes crystals are coming out. I'm not exactly sure what a mint green lightsaber would look like, though.
Green.
Could you imagine a mint green?
It's like a light green.
Like, would it be like a dull green?
Like a light green.
All right. Some new emotes for those of you who are all about the emotes and moods. The new emote Jig, which will presumably make you dance a jig. Not that we needed a third one. Hold on, let's see. Frequency says on Jawagram. Oh yeah, they need to make that into something edible.
Kind of like Teddy Grahams?
The Star Wars version of Teddy Grahams. I like that. I could eat that while playing, yes. Of course, the ever important new Woohoo, because they already have a Woohoo type emote. And then the new mood of Creepy. Enjoy that there, RPers. All right, and then additionally we have a new title. I always like new titles. I'm not sure where this one's going to be awarded, but it says Wartime Correspondent.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's going to be something for people.
The people that hang out in PvP but really don't do anything. They just hang out in PvP and watch.
PvP AFK or something. That'll work out.
Get the Wartime Correspondent.
Maybe it's for people who live stream.
Don't like, kill me, I'm pressed!
It says they live stream.
Don't kill me, I'm pressed.
I've got a press badge. Hold on. I can do this. Hold on. I can do this. There we go. I've got a press badge. Just the press. Don't shoot. No armaments.
Maybe you get a little hat with the press. You know.
And of course, we've got some new gear items coming in. The turncoat outfit. Most of these are looking to be set pieces dropped from future Cartel Association boxes. So we have the turncoat outfit, the Rockworm Home outfit.
Nice.
Oh, dude. That I could see, you know.
Oh, everybody's wearing
home and away.
Everybody has to be wearing the same gear.
Well, dude, remember?
And then you end up on the frog dogs. Shit. You gotta switch
That would
out
be the
gear
guy
real
that
quick.
Dude, I can see that. That would be awesome.
Everybody's got the same fucking uniform. It looks like some
New
1920s
Frog Dog and
baseball
Rotworm
uniform.
outfits. No, it's got to be like a 1950s basketball outfit with the super crotch hugging the nut struggle.
Really high shorts.
Yeah, the nut strangling shorts and the knee high socks.
No Explotor that'll be a football outfit with a big football helmet. Big numbers on the back.
Be a little easier. Be a bit easier to program, I guess. Oh yeah, see, even Frequency says, "Let's go with the super shorts."
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that would be creepy on the body type 3 chicks. Just be like, "Arr," and they get the big.
Those dyke chicks. Oh god, that would be just nasty.
My god, I actually made myself sick thinking it up.
I don't know. I could see
it.
it. I could see it on the body type 5s though. That big old ass. Pow.
Oh my god.
Have a little butt cheek hanging out the back.
I could see.
Have a butt cheek hanging out.
Dude.
Or
the mammal toe on the body type 4 guys. That would be some amazing moose knuckle. Oh my god.
Sith warrior spinning around to do the Sith warrior doing his spin, and all you see is like nutsack hanging out and shit. Ah!
You just got lowball, bitch.
That'd give a whole new perspective for teabagging.
I told you that's called getting the Earl Grey treatment
there
now.
You go.
I want to bring some English style to our teabagging. Okay, so then there's the Ogle statesman and loyalist outfits, the regal apparel, the relaxed vestments, the Carlo Nord's outfit, and then the Mentelian separatist outfit. New weapons: primordial blaster, sniper rifle, blaster rifle, assault cannon, the derelict, which looks very close to Darelect. Or Darlick, or yeah, whatever. Lightsaber and saber staff. Which, who really uses saber staffs? I mean, that's got to be what they're calling a two-handed.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
That's got to be a two-handed. Additionally, let's see what do we got here.
New dye modules.
We need these. Awesome sauce. Actually, one of them I'm happy about, specifically for my female characters. As I'm reading through these, other ones not so much. One pink for the wife, which is light purple and purple, and then there's deep purple and pink, which is up your alley.
Pink.
For your girls.
For Suiza.
And that's the one I was looking at. Yeah. I could see Naga rocking that out. Okay, so the new dye modules, and everybody can bust a quick nut on this one, because I'm sure someone's going to love all these. Dark yellow and medium yellow. I don't even know how you do a medium yellow. That's like
you got mustard and light mustard.
Whiz.
It's spicy mustard and regular spicy mustard French's.
Yeah, I guess. Bright yellow. Let's see, medium orange and light green. Once again, orange and green, not understanding this. Okay, let me
medium orange and blue.
Jack off. Oh yeah.
Orange and blue. Hey,
down for the guys over there.
I think maybe they're using college colors, because like medium orange and blue, that'd be that's Boise State or the Broncos. Let's see, medium orange and green. Well, yellow and green would be the Ducks. I don't know, man. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Or shit mixed with cat piss.
Right.
What going on? I look at these colors and, dude. Okay, let me explain something to the guys over at BioWare that apparently haven't figured it out, because I know none of them listen, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's fun, and it gets it off my chest. So to the guys at BioWare, this is the future. Stop using mute tones and colors that are retarded. In the future, I would like to see things that make sense. Anything that makes sense. Can we stop using brown for everything?
There's black and yellow. You can
brown,
look like
green, and orange.
Black and yellow. You can look like a yellow jacket. You can look like a bumblebee. Well, no, bumblebees are brown.
Or you can listen to that horrible rap song about what is that college? The Georgia College.
Yeah, black and yellow.
Black and yellow.
Black and yellow. That's like a yellow jacket. Well, at least it didn't do like brown and purple.
And pale brown. But think about it, pale red and pale brown.
I don't know. I'm not going to buy any of these. The only one I'm getting is the purple. And even then, the pink.
That's just it. buy them.
You can't just...
That was our biggest complaint about them.
Oh, that's right, because you have to be randomly dropped.
I mean,
right.
if you get them, you can get them off the auction house, but somebody's got to waste all the cash to get these die modules to drop, or develop them based on the one fucking group that can make dies. And we decided that archaeology was a dumb one to have that in the first place. The only way they can fix that is if they make it so the bioengineers and archaeologists.
Yeah, bio makes sense. But deep purple and pink. I just want straight up pink.
I'm not real big on the medium. I don't know about the medium pink, but as long as it's not too muted, I think it'd be cute. I think the best way for them to flip that up and make it really pink and female white character forward. I'll say it that way. They could have done like a hot pink and purple, or not make it a deep purple, because deep purple in the game, even with the shine off, with light shining off of it, and we know how bad the lighting is in a lot of the game.
It's almost black.
Right. So if we went with a purple and a hot pink to accentuate the pink, then maybe.
But it'd have to be pink with.
But we've got
purple.
things like we've got things like dark red and pale red. So the color my character was before she was evil, and the color after she was evil.
Anyways.
How about brown and green? I took a shit on myself and slid in the grass. Medium red and green.
Christmas colors.
Maybe, but medium red, like.
I don't know, dude.
Okay, and
I'm not gonna get these stupid
understandably,
things.
Understandably, these are data mined. Okay, these are data mined, so we have to take that into account. But nonetheless, let's see, what else do I have here? Pale blue and pale gray. Not sure. Medium orange and pale yellow. Another urine color. Pale blue and medium purple. One my nephew would be obsessed with, which is the deep purple and medium green, because everyone wants to look like the Joker.
That would be kind of cool.
Dark purple and light purple, which is up the wife's alley. The black and yellow, as you pointed out, and deep purple and pink. And there are a bunch of encrypted data cubes that are being dropped out. And it's fairly certain they're saying that these are related to the micro binocular mission, so that's a plus. Oh, that was wrong. Blue fetus in a dead tree brown. That's, oh my. Well, never mind. That's just wrong. And I just closed one of the windows I wanted. Son of a bitch. Thank God. There we go. All right, so that is what came from the data mining. Now, I would like to move to the lack of real game updates. They did sort of address this, but I'm going to cover this one real quick, because they were talking about it, and I thought about it. The game we don't have any real updates. We get new patches, and we get new features. But true game updates are normally infinitely larger than what we get as far as what's the standard set by other MMOs, what we're used to in a patch. And every time we get an update, it's not really an update. It says in the article here, we've been writing about Game Update 2.2 as well as the news that more features and additions are coming out in the summer for SWTOR, but there are many complaints coming from the players who are just not happy with the content BioWare is pushing out. The argument is that these updates don't really contain any quality new game content, and most consist of bug fixes and cosmetic feature changes, which is about accurate. Most of these things are actually bug-ridden and cause more issues than we had previously. Some bugs are almost never addressed, and we know that cosmetic changes are going to happen because that's the premier goal right now, is to get as many cosmetics out there as they can to get people to invest coin. I mean, we've said it from the beginning. When Cartel launched, that was what was going to happen. And it's not a complaint. It's what we knew was going to happen. It just is. The lack of real game content, and I know the basery of it is the fact that players want more planets, players want more options, players want more challenge. Some players want more free shit. And you're playing free to play now, so there is no free shit. Get over it.
Well, the fact that either EA or BioWare, whoever's in charge, does not know how to make an MMO. They just don't understand what an MMO is. It's not a single-player game. It's not a contained universe. It has to keep growing. Otherwise, it dies.
Yeah. And I like what Connor says. R.I.P. French and German players' faith in reading their game. Gone, not forgotten.
That's
yeah.
right.
I mean, some things that just really basic that should have been fixed a long time ago don't get it. And let's see. It says here's a piece of the story. It says this is from BioWare's site, of course. The release of SWTOR game update 2.1 a couple of weeks ago wasn't well received by a lot of people due to the implementation, the appearance designer through the use of cartel coins, which was one of my biggest complaints. If you're expecting a much better game update, if you're expecting a much better update with 2.2 and beyond, it seems that BioWare delivers isn't satisfying enough for those paying a monthly subscription. Earlier in the month, Bruce McLean, the senior producer of Star Wars: The Old Republic, released some sort of roadmap where the outline of the future of the game through the upcoming game updates. When 2.1 was released, a lot of people were disappointed due to the fact that it did not benefit any of the subscribers at all. To ease up the frustrations and disappointment of the raging fans, BioWare stated that game update 2.2 will offer better content today. It says today the planned update they want to release for game update 2.2 is this. June 11th isn't enough. Nightmare Mode Beyond. It's got a vicious new mechanic that is definitely not for the faint of heart. I'm very excited for you to see what new gear that comes with this, which uses a new appearance system we've developed for armor and weapons called scrolling UVs. So apparently they're going to try to use
light
the
reflection.
gigantic thing.
Yeah, light reflection.
Yeah. Let's see. Additionally, it says new guild bonuses. Players will receive XP for the bonuses for the unique players in the guild, which we read in the other thing. Crafters will now be able to craft underworld gear, and unified fleet chat for each faction. So basically each instancing chat is basically now if you have more than one instance on your server of the planets or the fleet, it will basically stop scrolling. It means it's gonna be literally scrolling nonstop. Because each time you're in a different instance.
I thought that already was. Great. So now
you can if you say
Yeah. Now we're gonna have.
Now you'll be talking to all 700 people on fleet.
That much more Jawa movie references.
Oh God, don't even. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the unified chat because it does help you put together a unique group to go run dungeons or do. And I'm actually dumbfounded that they had to think about that problem. But we were dumbfounded several times that they had to think about other problems.
I just assumed that it was already done that way. I just assumed it was already done that way.
Yeah,
because that's just one of those things that would have. If you would have just done that. Hello. Whatever. Anyway.
Wow, Carnot has been up for 24 hours. You poor bastard.
Yeah,
I've done that a few times. It only takes a lot of Red Bull. But I would have, as a gamer, I would have thought that would have been second nature to developers.
Yeah.
We should just have it that way, and that's the way it's going to be. But apparently, we're wrong.
That was an afterthought.
Devs needed. Now, I want people to keep in mind, those of you who listen to our show, keep in mind that devs make in the hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Yeah.
Some of the interns make next to nothing, but almost everybody makes a ton of cash. So these well-paid people took longer to figure out how to unify a chat that should, to us as gamers, is right there. It's we've got all these instances, but we need to talk to everybody. So, but that just means that chat's going to scroll at a speed that's insurmountable.
Yeah, you would have thought that maybe they would have hired some people that knew how to make MMOs before they decided to make an MMO.
Apparently not.
You know what I could really use from EA and BioWare again?
A refund?
Another Mass Effect would be cool.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But, I mean, that kind of blows my mind. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I like the idea of, instituting harder hard modes or adaptive hard modes. That was something they'd been talking about since, 1.6. So the fact that they're just now getting to the point in 2.2, and it still doesn't really address the idea that subscribers feel jilted by every patch. I mean, each time you introduce something new and a subscriber has to then go out and pony up more cash, and as a person who's played free-to-play, I don't like to jive at subscribers or non-subscribers all the time, but I also don't like the fact that they're going back and saying, okay, well, guess what? Let's go ahead and put you back to zilch, you know?
Yeah.
That kills me.
All right.
It really does.
I got this next paragraph, man. This is great.
Okay, go ahead.
From the big update they promised that is coming to Game Update 2.2, the above supposed new stuff that will be coming available on June 11th isn't even big. Analyzing the content they plan to release in Game Update 2.2 isn't pretty much just a recycled new content but made harder, plus a guild bonus that is pretty much useless. Since BioWare is simply just taking all of the things WoW already has, can't they just do one update for all the guild perks instead of dividing it into different game updates? Huh? Seriously, BioWare? Is that what you call a big game update? Well, waiting for 2 months following the release of 2.2 in June, Game Update 2.3 is coming. Should you be excited? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't get their idea of updates, but whatever.
Let's see. The argument then is that they promised us many things like new flashpoints, new daily areas, new recurring events, and many graphical upgrades. But when you break down what's actually coming with these updates, we're not getting much, if any, or if what we were promised. The story argues that the PvP is lackluster, BioWare doesn't deliver on what they promise, and the new game updates don't bring any real content. They say it's not even worth subscribing at this point. Oh, ouch. So many questions. So my question to you is, are they right? Yeah, well...
Well, no, I think the game is still worth getting into. I think when they put in these updates, some of them just aren't worth it. And I told you when they said that they were going to keep on a strict schedule of X amount of updates per every, 6 weeks that we were promised, that they were going to be small. They were going to be very nuanced. They weren't going to be anything huge.
Yeah.
Because they thought that these smaller patches would pacify the people. And that's the problem. They're trying to pacify people little by little.
They're taking a large patch.
Listen, we're working on this.
Yeah, they're taking a large patch and breaking it down, just giving us a little bit at a time to keep, yeah.
And to address the idea that Blizzard does the same thing, Blizzard does. Blizzard installs these small patches, and they don't tell you. Yeah. Each time they go down for maintenance, they put a little
thing, and then rolls in your background.
Yeah, and then 4 to 6 weeks later, they give you this enormous patch note and all the changes they made, and they activate them all at once. Yeah. With this, they're literally putting in the changes
as they go
and calling it an update.
Yeah.
What we end up getting for 2.0 is 2.0 all the way up to eventually 2. Whatever. All of these things are actually the 2.0 patch, just given to us in smaller increments, so it's not as noticeable, and it's not even is relevant at the time, which is the sad part. Now, there was an article that was SWTOR by the numbers, which was kind of an interesting thing. It says here, it says some interesting numbers that they have. A few other interesting numbers is 365. The number of days players will have to, will have to have Terra from Beyond be in the highest tier. So the average is 300, almost a year's worth of time in game to be able to be in the highest tier gear in Terra from Beyond. Let's see, 243. The number of days PvPers will have to have gone without a new war zone if patch 2.4 released at the estimated date and contained a new war zone, which is true. It says this is 8 days longer than they waited to get to get Novara Coast and the Ancient Hypergates. 4. The number of times the Gree event will have been active after the summer is over. And then it says, let's take a look at the revenues for a second, since some players seem to think the game doesn't have the resources to improve. This one is a great argument. 400,000 subscribers at $15 a month equals $6 million per month that subscribers are putting into the kitty for a game that says they just don't have the revenue to keep making it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I know I'm poking fun at BioWare. It's a game I love, and I'm one of the 400,000. Kind of blows my mind if you think about it. And 400,000 doesn't sound a lot, but I'll remind people that at the height of Wrath, Blizzard said that they had something like 12 million people that were subscribed. Currently, they are at 8 million, and I see more people on Fleet than I do in Org, or, for that matter, the Two Moon Shrine on my server, period, even with the cross-server iteration that they put on the game. So I'm wondering if anyone's run a population app, if they've noticed any increase of people. Because there may be 8 million people subscribed to the game, but I've seen about 40 in-game. Let's see, it says, say that half of those players spend $5 extra a month on something in the cartel market on top of the stipend. A fair average, I think. It says 200,000 people at $5 a month in cartel coins brings us to $1 million a month. So we're at $7 million a month so far. And even if there are, it says here, let's say that there are 1.5 million total players in game as of now. So there are 1 million free-to-players. Let's say half of them spend $5 a month. Another $2.5 million a month coming in from revenue from free-to-players just by $5 at a time. So we're up to $9.5 million a month on SWTOR. Really kind of pisses me off that we don't get better game updates or more thought-out game updates. They made their money back on the revenue from launch. No issues, no problems, no need to bitch about it. And then we come into this, where it quite literally turns into $9 million a month. Okay? We could all go back down to paying $1 a month, and we would all have a passable game at $1 a month for a sub.
Yeah, let's say, 9 million, let's see, that's how many numbers? 6? 1, 2, 3, 6. 9 million, no, that's 9. 1, 2, 3, there we go, one more zero. And let's say they have, how many employees do you think they have there? Just for SWTOR, not for all of BioWare.
Well, I don't know. I think they were the BioWare complex in Austin, which is supposed to be managing
the totality of half of those fuckers.
Yeah. Well, at last knowledge, it was something like 110 people there.
110.
I don't know if they're counting the janitors and the wait staff, but
quite unlikely that they're getting paid $81,000 a month. So let's say 110 will average out their pay at what, about $36 an hour? That sound about right for developers?
Sure.
Yeah. So times 36. So $4,000 a month. Yeah. That's they've got plenty of fucking money left over. Then they got to pay for the building. They got to pay for all the taxes and all this other shit. Then they got to give EA their cut, which is probably a big cut. I don't know. If you break it down, they probably don't have. I mean, that $9 million is just their total. When you get to the bottom line, it probably isn't that much, but probably enough to put into the game.
Well, I'm sure they're clearing more than half revenue.
That's
half is profit.
Yeah,
I mean, and any business tries to make double their money.
That's like my coworkers at my job sit there say, because they know how much our contractors make. They shouldn't, but they do. They figure it out, right? So they say, oh, well, he's making over $1 million a year. I don't know why I'm not fucking making X amount of money. Well, you gotta. That's his top line. That's the top line. You gotta pay for the truck. You gotta pay for insurance. You gotta pay for the employees. You gotta pay for this. You gotta pay for that. Taxes. Blah 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 blah. You're getting what you get. And he's the boss, so he deserves the bigger paycheck. But anyway, that's a side note. I'm just saying that what they're saying in this article is maybe true, but that's top line money, not bottom line money. So.
Yeah. But the thing is that if I get into the game and they keep giving me these new expansions, and some of them, like I said, I do like some of the stuff that they've done. Really haven't had a chance to raid because most of the people I used to raid with, my friends list doesn't light up like it used to because they're playing on alts.
Right.
And I think something like RID, like Blizzard has, would be helpful. Some of the changes they can make that are literally cost-saving maneuvers would be great. No big deal, no problems. And I think that would help me out quite a bit in the game. I just to see the numbers like that, it makes you wonder if it's just a money-grubbing deal or if it's legit. Is it really that they have a ton of money and they're just bilking people? We all know that EA, from time to time has been dubbed the worst developer to work for, the worst company to buy from, and Origin is a complete failure. So, I mean, we can see where some of that money might have been spent. I think as far as the expansions go, the expansions could be a bit more if we just gave them the deadline time.
Yeah.
Stop trying to get it out every 6 weeks. Say, hey, every 3 months we're going to do something new. And that would be appropriate for me. We don't expect a true hardline patch but once a year. So you have to have one dev team working on the next annual patch, one dev team working on the quarterly patches, and be done with it. I don't see any huge things that have pulled me out of the game. The only thing that's kept me from playing the game is the last weekend of tech support with my nephew, and trying to balance out the rest of the games that I play, because I do play so many. And it's hard to decide what I want to live stream and shit like that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I still play on all of my characters. It's just getting harder to devote my time to one game. And you had said that you were probably going to stop streaming some of your games just because of the fact, or you were going to stop playing some games just because you don't have the ability to include more, and would eventually have to adjust your stream schedule just so that you could afford to stream the new games.
I canned Monday already, but that was because that game sucks. Or I suck at it.
Was that the Mars logs?
Yeah, whichever. I'll talk about it on Name and Progress. But yeah, I canned that.
Yeah, I saw Mars logs and it looks okay, but I like MMOs. I tell everyone MMOs are the official game of anyone who wants to dick off, because I'll run my MMO on one screen, I'll run Netflix on the other screen, I'll talk to people in chart on the other screen, but if I play a game and I'm playing completely free, World of Tanks is my go-to for that. World of Tanks is very cut and dry. I can see from looking at my charts whether or not I really want to put any extra money into it. But if I don't, I can just have fun.
Yeah.
And I do. I've been having a ton of fun on World of Tanks, and I've spent maybe $20 on it in the year that I played it or so. And it's been nearly a year because I started playing it back in March, but it's also a pick-up and sit-down game where I can pick up, I can play it for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
6 hours a week, and I'm done. With an MMO, I really want to feel somewhat engrossed. I got that from World of Warcraft last week, where I was going through and working on getting my dragon mount, because I love mounts through dailies.
Right.
Kevin hates dailies, but I like the idea. And I don't see that. Dailies in SWTOR are literally just to get money.
Right.
No one likes work. When something feels like work, it's done. Excuse me. Which is why I also don't like raiding all that much in this game. Although I'm next to ready to swear off raiding in WoW. But the content that they're bringing isn't quality in my estimate. The addition of McKeb was awesome.
Yeah.
It was what we needed for a 2.0 patch. The addition of the 2 additional side items like the macrobionicles and the other, artifact gathering type of missions, that's cool. I like that. But it's not enough to bring back someone who wants to play an MMO. You have to have stupid shit like doing dailies for mounts or, just goofy little shit. And every goofy little thing in here that I would love to go and earn,
yeah,
I have to. I do. I earn every day I go to fucking work. I've gotten one character to 55, and then I was bored again. The storyline is okay, but not enough to keep me there. I do like playing, but in PvP, honestly, I don't mind PvP as much. The attitudes are back. You get to the top end and the attitudes kick in again. And that's just, I think they should take their time and develop a little bit more and stop wasting our time and start wasting our money a little bit better. We do have one bit of kind of good news, kind of interesting news for anybody who hasn't heard of it. Let's see. Let me scroll up here. The folks over in the Czech Republic have apparently assembled the largest Lego X-Wing in history, using an astonishing 5,335,200 bricks. Made the largest X-Wing ever assembled with real Legos. This one is a lofty 11 feet by 43 feet, so 11 feet tall, 43 feet long, and looks to be half a city block large. Really cool. I don't know. I saw one spot on here where it said the man hours. Here it is. It was assembled by a team of 32 people over the course of 17,000 man hours.
That's too much time.
17,000 man hours. And it used 2 million more bricks than the previous record holder for being the largest construction with Legos, that being a robot in the Minnesota Mall of America at 43 feet front to back. It's actually 2 feet longer than the fictional X-Wing that Luke Skywalker flew into battle in the original series. So...
Yeah, I think they should have made the Death Star so you could actually walk around in it. That would have been cool. And then put it in space. They should just, they could do that. They could make the Death Star out of Legos, because those things, you just super glue each piece together, right? And then they stay together, right? So if you make you could send up a bag of Legos with the shuttles, not the shuttle anymore, but the Russian thing. You send a bag of black, Legos. They're pretty light. You don't take up too much. You just send a few of those every time. They got some downtime. They can put together these things, glue them together, make a gigantic freaking, Death Star made out of Legos circling the Earth. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was typing.
I know. That's what I was doing while,
There we go. While I was talking. Yeah, but see, I'm so much longer-winded than you are, because I have the bad tendency to reiterate things I've already said.
Yeah, I know.
But I think
I haven't been doing this for 40 freaking episodes.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is I don't run out of things to bitch about. It actually blows my mind a little bit.
You're just
full
of hate, man. You're just full of hate.
Yeah, well, hopefully I can drown that out when I get my next setup. But to bring some new news to the forefront, we have had 2 people so far that have talked to me or contacted me about interest in being my new co-host. I would like to get a few more apps
my lighting's
so that
fine.
Can feel like I've actually got a choice. Your lighting sucks.
It's
that
perfect.
damn window.
It hasn't changed one bit on my shit. Neither one of ours. And if you look on Uvu, look how perfectly even the green is. The only time it would change is if I do this. Now
I don't know, man. I've got it matched almost perfectly, and as soon as you moved your arms back, it fucked it all up for me.
See? Anyways, we're almost done anyway. What were you saying?
Yeah. But I'd like to get a few more apps, so anybody who wants to potentially be a member of the Sith Talk podcast and keep the light on here, make sure to hit me off with an email over at sithtalk@gmail.com. Feel free to include your character names, experience, whatever additional information you think will help. Remember that this is a fan cast. I don't make any money doing it, and I don't expect to have to pay anyone to do it. So if you're not a fan, it's okay. Don't bother. If you are a fan or just like hearing, or you play the game and you'd like to have your 2 cents jumped in, or you think I'm a complete jack-off and think that this game is fucking awesome and I should shut my face, feel free to become my new co-host so that we can fight on air, because that shit would be epic. I will stuff you into a tauntaun stomach.
They smell worse on the inside.
I thought they smelled better. Artist, yes. The Hate Machine, I am working on doing a revamp of the Hate Machine. I'm going to throw it the direction of calling it The Rules, because I think the Hate Machine actually does kind of isolate the fan base, or the possible fan base. So I'm going to redub it The Rules and go from there with it. But no, I want to get more people involved and continue to thank the people who have stuck by us. I don't intend on dropping the show off anytime soon. We do have this episode and one more to come that will allow us to bid adieu to good Lanyard and all of his video production ability, so that we can get back to the simplistic bullshit that I do. And hopefully Lanyard will still supply me with occasional goodies, so the show doesn't look sharp.
I'm putting together a whole package for you, and then I'm gonna drop box it, so you can play with it however you want.
So you're going to give me your package and let me play with it?
I'm giving you a package.
But nonetheless, I am revamping the Hate Machine. I don't know when I'm going to be able to put it up, but I'm thinking about doing it to the effect of doing a 30-minute cast on my live stream and then uploading it to YouTube so I can simplify things. It will not be a podcast. It will be a vlog. But I do need more people. I want more people to hit me up. Over 1,000 of you download every episode, so inevitably I should be able to get at least a 1% incursion from that. So somewhere around 10 to 15 people that may be interested. Keep in mind the things that I'm looking for is a reasonable camera, mic, and lighting are helpful. Not necessarily. Well, the mic is important, but the lighting is most important. As you can tell from our video cast, being able to see your face is part of the fun. But nonetheless, guys, we do thank you once again for your support. If you have any questions, concerns, interest, hit us up at sithtalk@gmail.com. And if you're feeling so frisky, feel free to hit the donate button on our pod sites, and we'd be much appreciative. Until next time, we will see you in the pit.
Thank you again for joining us here on Sith Talk. Lanyard and Dedekar look forward to talking with you next week. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Sith Talk, or stop by our Facebook page at facebook.com/Sith Talk. And of course, our Gmail is sithtalk@gmail.com. This music brought to you by freeplay.com. And remember, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken. The Force shall free me.